Retro World Toys and Games. We are back in the Toy Dungeon for part 2 of Retro World Toys and Games Conspiracy Theories. So, last time we talked about the Denver airport.
Yes, we did.
Bradley made it sound like he had so much information on it, but didn't have too much, so we're hoping that the comments filled in, and we'll go back to that. The one that I want to talk about is aliens.
Ooh.
Now, I have a little bit of first-hand knowledge on this subject.
A little bit.
And of course, alien. One is unidentified flying object. I have seen one, and we'll talk about it. I don't know if that's alien in nature, or some people say it's secret military craft, or some people just say it's a conspiracy theory.
Nobody knows. That's why it's called a
Nobody knows.
UFO, unidentified.
Unidentified flying object. I have seen one. I'll tell that story. Absolutely true. I mean, I was.
Didn't you repost it on Facebook?
No, I posted it. Somebody posted a picture similar, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's
It was a
exactly
video
what I
of a
saw."
bullet.
It was almost exactly what I saw, but I'll describe it. One of the other things is I do happen to know someone who may have had some secret clearance at some point, and with what that person has told me about what they've seen, it's not really a conspiracy theory, but more of a kind of a fact. What the fuck?
That was a little bit delayed. I don't know why.
And it's operator error.
Yeah.
So, well, let's talk about this. Bradley, tell me what you know about unidentified flying objects and aliens.
I personally don't have any first-hand knowledge except for seeing something fly across the sky one time here and there. But
Oh, that could have been a comet. That could have been anything.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I saw. I was flying back from Mexico into Buffalo. And one of the paths you could take coming to Buffalo, you go up over the top of Lake Erie and you come in, you fly over the lake the whole time. You really can't see much inside because it's such a huge lake. I was just kind of looking like this down in the window seat, just kind of looking down. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw something just come into view. I couldn't tell you how far away it was because I was in the plane, but it wasn't far. It just kind of shot into view real smooth, and it was round and silver with like a little dome on the top, all silver. And as I'm looking at it, trying to process what's going on, I'm not in a panic or nothing. I'm just like, is that a plane? Why is there? My thought was that, why is there a plane so close to this plane? But I'm looking, and it's round and silver. And then all of a sudden, as my mind's coming around the fact that's not a plane, that's round and silver, it literally went, pew. It just kind of putted off like, almost, the best way to describe it was, remember the sound from the Jetsons? It was like, boom.
yes.
That's kind of like what it looked. I mean, I didn't hear any sounds, but that's the best way I could describe it. Like, it was just there, pew, off, like gone, like this was not an airplane. So I looked at the person next to me as I was looking out the window. I looked at the person next to me. They were looking out the window too, and I just muttered, real calm. I muttered, "What was that?" And she replied, "That was not an airplane." Or it's like, airplanes don't move like that, or something like that. So that is my unidentified flying object story. Bradley, thoughts?
That is creepy.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody knows if it's aliens behind the wheel. I heard one really cool theory that it was actually us from the future. But you know how like they have the gray heads?
Yes.
And they're smaller in stature, and they have big black eyes. It's almost like the way evolution turns. Like with all the screens we're using with the phones and the computers, our eyes have to develop a different way of viewing things. And with people eating less meat, their mouths will get smaller because they don't need to eat animals like that anymore, big, giant meals. And, little gray, where there's no need for strength anymore because machines do all the work. So maybe 1 million years from now, or tens of thousands, we'll evolve down into something smaller, grayer, smaller mouth, bigger eyes. That's a conspiracy theory that I have heard, and it doesn't not make sense. It holds water.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So the silver object in the sky, I saw in an airplane.
Oh.
I have also, like I said, I knew someone who had top secret clearance in a top secret place. And one of their jobs was to guard a certain room full of files. Because it was back before computers. It's an older person. And one of the files, they happen to kind of open it up. And this was back in the early 80s. I was being told about something called Project Blue Book.
Oh, yeah.
But get this. Project Blue Book wasn't made public until years after I heard about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so the person I knew was telling me about Project Blue Book long before Project Blue Book was ever declassified. So I knew about it, and there was a picture in it. And this is the only thing he saw other than he just read witness accounts. A lot of them were blacked out, too.
Ooh.
But I asked him if there were any pictures, and he said there was one, and it was of a hand. And he had no idea what that hand could have belonged to.
Oh,
I didn't really get a good description. Like I said, if I go back to 1982 or whatever it was when I heard the story, I would gladly find out more detail. But that person's no longer with us anyway. But I remember thinking, what a silly name, Project Blue Book. And then years later, it became declassified.
Oh.
As Project Blue Book, and I had already known about it. Retro world, conspiracy theories. What the fuck? And games. What else, Brad? What do you have? Do you have questions about aliens, alien life forms, unidentified flying
I
objects?
have a question about hands, but I have a question about what the hell you do with your hands.
I'm creating a little effect for the viewers. A little Hadouken, if you will.
I've lost all faith in you.
So that was episode 2, Retro World Toys and Games. If you have any of those similar stories, pop them in the comments below. Let me hear them. I want to see them. Send pictures, videos, whatever you have.
Questions, comments, anything.
Stuff to make us believe. Yeah, and also share this, like it, follow it, do all those things. And tune in next time because we are going to unbox. It's not a conspiracy theory, Bradley. What the fuck? But how did I get this before it ever came out? It's a conspiracy theory.